Hello, welcome to Fine Moon Rising. This is Virgo's July 2025 Tarot and Energy Sigil reading. All right, so what I'm doing here is pulling cards. We have the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. This will direct the sigil, the energy for your sigil. So what I'm doing is seeing what they are. Let's see. Take charge and don't inhibit the universe from providing for you. It's almost like have faith. This is a month to have faith that things will be provided in the time in which you need them. So that it's a little bit of a boost there. And then I'm developing a sigil here. And for me, this kind of felt like accept the magic. A lot of times Virgos are very detail-oriented, and then we love that about them. Very hardworking, very intelligent individuals, and very, very health-oriented. The issue is sometimes they want logic, and don't take the time to see the magic. Magic meaning, things like special people in your life, highlighting the uniqueness about special people in your life, the uniqueness of seasons, the uniqueness of your life in general, how your body moves, those type of things, noticing those kind of things that are special things in your life. So it's kind of like pushing the I believe button a little bit this month, that things will be provided for you. If you need to perform chaos magic, which sigils definitely are, it is just an affirmation that you kind of create out of some consonants, and then you put it down on paper, and yours is accept the magic. Then you go ahead and draw it however you want. You can do whatever you want. It could be simple or very complex. Then you just kind of throw it out and watch it come to pass. Okay, so as far as the astrology goes for you, Venus is in Gemini, and that offers career advancements. Okay, one thing though for career for Virgos, and pretty much every sign, honestly, is Uranus is in Gemini. And whenever we have those very large outreaching planets, it can be big changes in communication and how we are communicating. I feel like the old ways that we're communicating, we're kind of seeing through that. It's basically bullshit. We're seeing through news outlets. We're seeing through the advertising, things that are inserted into our life that are kind of like always in our psyche. Things are showing up for us. Also, the way we're communicating with others is changing. And I believe it's like a group wake up to a different style of communication with each other. It's kind of like getting down to the nitty gritty, getting down to the business, and not really having all this extra stuff that is just getting in the way. And a lot of people can be doing things like inhibiting some social media outlets. Like maybe if you're on, X, whatever those platforms are, you've decided to do away with those in lieu of other platforms, that kind of thing. Okay, so also Mercury in retrograde in Leo is not really a time for you to be a showboat. Not that you really are, but you're not going to be very outwardly as outgoing as you normally are with that retrograde. And in general, most people aren't. You might find people just they just really want to get to the point, and that just does come with that communication change. Let's see. Be your normal detail-oriented self when it comes to any kind of business negotiations. So continue on with that. And then take time out to socialize. And that adds that magic. So you will want to feel very much more introverted and kind of focus on yourself. Maybe you're meditating, which is a really good thing to do. But also see the magic in other people. See the benefit in socialization. See the benefit in reaching out to those old friends. That kind of thing that might provide for you, provide some sort of, food for thought and, distraction and something that just kind of makes your heart feel good. Okay, also pay attention to your health if there's any kind of things that you need to do as far as scheduling appointments or, just relaxing a bit more, then July is the time to do that. It's like a reverse hibernation phase, instead of hibernating in the winter, you might want to feel like resting a bit more in July, and that's okay. There's possibility for meet cute. So if you are interested in meeting somebody new, you might run into somebody that, it could be somebody you've met before and then you just run into them, or it could be just, somebody new you meet in a grocery store or something like that. Just possibility of anything like that for you, Virgo. Okay, let's move on to the tarot, and I'm sure the tarot has popped up already on your screen. And we are starting with overarching energy as Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, and King of Swords. Okay, and I don't really look at the tarot. I just dole it out, take a picture, and then do the voiceover. So bear with me as my brain organizes. Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, and King of Swords. Stuff is not logical. Like, you may look at things and say, this is just not logical. That's where I say you might have to push that I believe button, and then just say, oh, it's magic, whatever. This opportunity coming towards me is just freaking magic. I don't understand it. Don't know where it came from. However, the logic of it will come in the future. You'll say, oh, I see why that person never called me back. I see why I didn't get that job. I see why I accepted this position instead. It's all going to come to pass in the next 3-6 months or so. You won't have to push the I believe button. You'll actually know. You'll actually know why something didn't work out for you. Some venue didn't happen. Something didn't happen for you. You'll figure it out. Okay. You did have in your past the Hierophant. So there was a time of learning. So if you've had to take a class or some sort of something like that, there is a good time of learning for you. We do have the Three of Swords. So you're starting in the Three of Swords. You're actually cutting out things. And I think that's why you're kind of hermiting yourself. It's probably because you're cutting out things that you don't really need. Maybe streamlining your life, streamlining things in your life to make things just very much easier. 10 of Pentacles. It's for your 10 of Pentacles. It's for your happiness. It's for your safety. It's for your security. It's for your nest egg. You might be actually working on your nest egg, or you might be wondering what to do with your money. And there might be opportunities there, especially if you have business, to go ahead and branch out. The Queen of Wands here is in your conscious reality. You do have the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands here, kind of opposite energies. I feel like you want to be very creative and passionate at this time, but maybe it's not flowing as well as you'd like, but that's where you're headed. That's your interest. That's where you want to go. You do have this Justice card in your subconscious. The checks and balances. I'm feeling like checks and balances, the whys, you might be reviewing a little bit of the past and then finding out why things are the way they are, why you are the way you are, that kind of thing. And those kinds of things will come up in July. It's not a negative thing at all. It's actually very good. Your brain is just actually reorganizing stuff. You do have the World. And on this World card does have a big fat acorn. And this acorn, of course, is like your nest egg. It's like, building on your life. It's literally pushing yourself through another phase of existence. And that's why I say you might be surprised by meeting somebody new or taking another position or expanding your business. There might be some of those opportunities where you just have to push the I believe button and then go ahead and find the logic of it later. So, and we're not doing any risky things or whatever. We're doing things that are, you just don't see all the details like you would want, but it is good and you know that it's going to benefit you. And so, all right, you do have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords, you have just been very indecisive, which is probably pretty odd for you. It could be just too much information. A lot of times we can just be very overwhelmed with too much information. And I feel like that's the way you've been attacking things. You're like, you know what? This is way too much coming at me. I need to chill. I need to relax. I need to meditate. I need to take care of myself, make sure your health's in order, and then hit everything from there. So from a starting point of centered energy, that's where you're going to actually thrive. That's where you're going to come out of it. And with this retrograde, it can feel a little weird. Like you don't really want to be out in the public eye, and you don't really want to stick your neck out because it's like too overwhelming for everything around you. And I think it's just as a result of the things that you've been doing probably in the beginning of the summertime, and it's just a lot on your plate. Okay, you do have this Ace of Pentacles here, and that is your environment. So you are working on your money, your finances. There could be financial opportunities for you, as well as money possibly coming in, and just different avenues. And so you've been working on that. There's energy here to make more money. There's energy here to accept a different position. There's energy to expand your money sector. And so that's going to be coming in for you, and it's going to be a little bit shocking, actually. And so expect that probably after, I'm saying, the 17th of July, just after that time, there might be more opportunities. Do the Four of Pentacles. The universe wants you to know to don't inhibit the universe, but, you're going to have to investigate things as much as you can. You're not going to know everything, and that's where we have the faith button, I believe button, whatever. Not going to know all the details, but the universe wants you to know as much as you can, investigate as much as you can, and see how you go from there. But there's also don't inhibit You know, don't just say, I can't do that, or I can't do that right now. Just investigate it. So be curious about any opportunities coming in. If they don't work, they don't work, and that's fine. If you're not interested in it, that's fine. But there is something here about, you know, if a new person comes into your life and you think there might be a new start to relationship, something like that, or just a lucrative connection, then investigate that. Investigate those connections and see how they go. You know, it doesn't hurt to really investigate things. And then we have the Page of Cups at the end here. And the Page of Cups is that I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. It's a cute, I wish you could see it. You probably saw it pop up a couple times. I might have to add another one. But it's got this cute little otter with a coffee cup. It's so adorable. And it's like he wants to give it to somebody else. And you know, otters, they're so funny. They can be like, you know, a little naughty, of course, but they also, you know, keep their young on their chest, and sometimes they like hide a little rock in their skin folds, and they're very adorable, and they're very, you know, giving and kind of like put on a show. If there's like humans around, they want to look at you, they're curious about you, very curious little creatures. And it's almost like this Page of Cups is handing you a cup, like time to open your heart, time to investigate any new connections, also time to put your heart in something. So if you've been in a career path that, you know, like you're not really into it anymore, now is a time that you're going to be kind of seeking other opportunities, but you're going to be doing it, you know, kind of just quietly and not really sharing, because I think you're just not very boisterous at this time. And so, and again, like I said, we're not really being a showboat. So at this time, you're just kind of seeing where things go. You're kind of interested in your heart, what is going to ignite that passion. And then you're going to just investigate it from there. And so I feel like there's a lot of opportunities coming in for you. And I think you're just kind of like testing the waters. I see somebody, you know, dipping their toes in the water in everything that's coming your way. And you might be just going along on that path, right? In July. And I feel like into August as well, there's a lot of that energy that's going to continue, especially after the 17th. There's going to be a lot of that kind of testing the waters energy. And okay, Virgo, if you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.